On this episode of Bare Ass Gardenia, I'm gonna be making a mashed potato pizza casserole. Creamy Idahoan mashed potatoes. Milky moist gravy. This casserole is gonna give Giada pasta-filled diarrhea. All that and more coming up on Bare Ass Gardenia. My name is Oona Gardenia, and this is my cooking show, Bare Ass Gardenia. Starring me, Oona Gardenia, and created by me, Oona Gardenia, and my husband who's out in the garden picking herbs. This is officially the second episode of my very own series. The first episode was very well received. My husband Michael told me that it got 4 billion views. He also read some of the comments to me because I do not know how to work a computer. And he told me that a lot of you said that you stan. And I'm very appreciative of the standing, but I'm also here to tell you that sitting is very good for the back. So take a break from the standing and take a seat. Now, you might be thinking, Oona, what is on your face? It does kind of look like a beard, right? But actually, this is just dirt. Michael was in the garden picking all these potatoes, and I visited him, and things got a little rough. I got dirt all over my face and in other places that I'm not gonna talk about. Just kidding, I got it in my vagina crack. But honestly, Michael doesn't mind. He likes the taste of dirt. He's vegan. Like I said earlier, I am gonna be making a mashed potato pizza casserole. Now, I did think of this creation all by myself. I'll tell you guys that story a little later in the video. But anyways, the ingredients you will need are regular sour cream, country gravy, mozzarella cheese, sweet cream ball, salt and pepper, the dynamic duo, Idaho potatoes, fresh from the garden, picked by Michael, and last but not least, some milk straight from my breast. After giving birth to 10 children vaginally, I haven't stopped lactating since. It's been 53 years. So first things first, I'm gonna peel my whole bag of potatoes. And now I did say these taters are from Idaho. That's actually because Michael and I reside in Idaho. Our garden is in Idaho, our home is in Idaho, and our hearts are in Idaho. Michael always says, if the potato isn't from Idaho, it's not a potato. It's just a really ugly carrot. So I'm just gonna peel each of these potatoes one by one. I prefer to wash them after I peel them, so they'll be truly fresh and clean. Oh, that was like a little cyst. I'm gonna clean this Mr. Potato Head. And then I'm gonna just add it to my little water bath I have here. It's like a bird bath, but for potatoes. Once me and Michael found this abandoned bird bath, he grabbed my big ass and plopped me right in the bird bath, and he cleaned me. That is fresh and clean. When it's dirty, we don't eat it, do we, ladies? I'm just gonna keep peeling until all these potatoes are completely nude. This is a clothing optional casserole. Me and Michael honestly love to visit the nude beach. We often find that we are actually the most beautiful people there. Let's keep peeling. I still have a lot more to peel. So I'm thinking, let me quickly tell you that story about how I thought of this recipe. Me and Michael were in the garden having a pepperoni picnic. I know what you're thinking, areolas, but that's not the case. Get your mind out of the gutter. We actually enjoy chewing on pepperonis in the garden. That's all pepperoni picnic is. I was, of course, butt naked, laying on the dirt, and Michael saw my ass, and he said, may I put a little pepperoni on your ass cheek? And I said, yes, you may. So he started covering my whole ass with pepperonis, and then he said to me, Oona, your ass looks like mashed potatoes with pepperonis on it. And I was like, Eureka. Just kidding, I'm a chef. I said, paprika. And that's how it happened. Let's keep peeling. All of my taters are peeled and cleaned. So now I'm just gonna cut them into 4 pieces. It'll just make them cook a little quicker. And then I'm just gonna toss them into this pot that I have right here. Ew, that is disgusting. I'm gonna have to cut that chunk off. Here too, oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, contamination. It's actually kind of stinky, which reminds me of my very good friend Bertha. We actually go to the same book club together. We loved 50 Shades, all 100 parts of it. But sometimes when I'm in book club, I think to myself, what is that stench? And then I look over and I see Bertha and I'm like, it's coming from her. So I ask her, why do you stink? You actually smell like a bag of trash. And then she gets very offended, but it's all very playful. It's just our dynamic, you know, sisters. And just last week I said to her, Bertha, do you need some deodorant? And she told me, no girl, I use natural coconut oil. And I told her, girl, that's why you smell like ass. So yeah, every time I'm peeling a very nasty, stinky potato, I think of Bertha. Gotta love her. So these taters are ready to be cooked. I'm just gonna salt them a little bit, just add some flavor in there as they cook. I'm just gonna add some water, or as I like to call it, agua. I have a homosexual brother and his boyfriend is Cuban. Scandalous, right ladies? The land of the cigar. He's been teaching me some Latino words. And in case you're wondering, I'm okay with homosexuals. It's none of my business. Just like me, Michael, and our garden is no one's business besides ours and the garden's. Let me just turn this on. Get it boiling, and once these potatoes are nice and tender, we will move on to the next step. Yes, we will. Cocktail break. I almost choked there. This is getting so steamy and so bubbly. It reminds me of the 80s. Oh, I need to turn this down. Oh my gosh, it's going to overflow. Perfection. The taters are done. They are nice, soft, and supple. I'm now just gonna add them to this bowl. I'm just doing some Pilates while I strain my taters. Pilates have been helping me feel very strong and limber. I am at a ripe, mature age, so I have to stay elastic and flexible. There's a lot of trees in the garden that I try not to get tangled in, so I have to maneuver. So I'm just taking my potato masher. I'm just gonna start to mash these potatoes up. Oh yeah. Look how that goes into the holes like a pimple. You see that? Watch. That's what the kids these days call ASMR. None of my children are into those things. They're in Ivy League colleges. So I'm not very educated on what TikTok is, but I do think that I heard somewhere that it's the biggest clock in the world. I have to visit. Okay, that looks wonderful. So now I'm just gonna add a whole stick of butter. This is gonna melt and make our mashed potato base very decadent. So I'm gonna kind of like kind of mash that in. It's actually melting slower than I would like it to. You know why? It's store-bought. Now that the butter is all melted into our potatoes, I am gonna add a little bit of milk. Ooh, that is enough. And a whole lot of salt and pepper. What would salt be without pepper? It would be salt. Just gonna mix all this together. So now that that's all mixed in, I am going to add a whole lot of sour cream. Or as my Cuban brother-in-law calls it, sour cream. I love being related to a Cuban. Honestly, representation matters. And being related to him just makes me feel like I'm doing my part. So I'm just adding, as you can see, a lot of sour cream. I actually like to add the whole tub, and I'm not even joking about this. I know it's very fattening, and I will only eat this when I feel like making my ass larger. But the sour cream truly takes the mashed potatoes to another realm. Some may call it heaven, some may call it Narnia. And I do feel like the sour cream flavors will go very well with the pizza essence. And let me tell you, it does look insane. You're probably thinking, Oona, this is just sour cream with a little potato on top. But truly, this is where it's at, as the kids say. I'm going to take my casserole dish and I'm gonna spray it with some Pamela. I heard this massive homosexual call it Pamela once, and I just thought, what a beautiful name. Spray that pan just like so. And now I'm just gonna fill the pan up with my potato sour cream mixture. Now that that's in there, I'm gonna take this out to the garden and let Michael lick it clean. This is his dinner tonight. That's all he gets. I always leave him wanting more, right ladies? So now I'm just gonna spread the potatoes out evenly all throughout my casserole pan to fill up all the cracks and crevices. So this part of the casserole is done, but now I have to make my country gravy. New angle, who this? So these gravy packets are actually not store-bought. These are from my garden. I have a gravy tree and it produces these packets. They just hang off the leaves and I pick them. So I just have to add some water to the pot, just like that. And now I'm just gonna add both of my packets of gravy right into the warm water. Freshly grown. And now I'm just gonna whisk this all together. This is really hot, I'm sorry. I have to stand back a little bit, safety first. Look how thick it's getting so instantly. It is done and ready to go. Oh my God, flatulence. So now I'm just gonna add my very thick gravy right on top of the potatoes. This is gonna act as my pizza sauce. I'm just gonna spread it around to cover all of the potato surface. Potatoes remind me a lot of The Hills in The Sound of Music. I see Julie Andrews running around getting stuck in a pool of sour cream. What an icon. Our gravy has been applied and now it's the fun part. I have a bag of mozzarella cheese. I wanna see Gianna try to pronounce that. I don't think she can. And I'm just gonna sprinkle it all over my whole casserole to make a nice cheese layer, just like a pizza. And last but not least, I'm gonna add pepperonis. Now, you can add whatever pizza toppings you like to this mashed potato casserole, but I like the simplicity of a pepperoni. And that is that. So now I just have to bake this in the oven until it is nice and golden brown and crusty. This part is always a little scary, putting something really heavy into the oven. I wish Michael could come inside and help me, but he's always in the garden. Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh, that is a hefty big boy right there. I will be back in 20 to 30 minutes with the results. How do I turn this off? How do I pause it? Pause. Is it touchscreen? So about 35 minutes later, I think it's done. Oh, wow. Golden to perfection. Oh, that really does look like a whole pizza on top. Let's take a big daddy slice, shall we? Wow. The potatoes inside are so fluffy. Oh my goodness. It really smells like heaven. Let's take a bite of the pepperoni, the gravy, the tater mash. Oh, wow. Oh, this is really gonna push out Michael's constipation. Let me just say that. Incredible, decadent, made by me. The gravy with the pepperoni and the potato, everything goes so well together. It gives you a feeling of pizza and of home. Love and grease. Decadent. Fabulous. I'm gonna go eat this, digest it, throw it up, feed it to Michael like a mother bird. And I will see you guys on the next episode of Bare Ass Gardenia. Fabulous.